Hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on in the news today. Report came out, it was talking about our president and his health report, his health issue. And, you know, I like to do these things because when I do lives, when I do things like this for you, the goal of it is to try to give you a little bit of information, right? Try to give you some insight, something different, take a little bit different look at things. And as I wait for you guys to kind of sign in here and join me today, we're going to talk about what's going on with our healthcare system? What's going on? What's a flaw in it? What's something that we have? And I want to bring this up because the president's a really good person because we're all looking at him. Everybody's looking at him. And we're all looking at him and saying, gosh, you know, we can judge. Oh my gosh, he came in and they level, you know, he's 6'3". He's roughly 240 pounds. You know, we're looking at that thing and they're saying, well, his BMI's high. The article actually came out of NBC News. And they noted that the president reports is a schlub. Really? This is amazing to me. So that's the terms they use to describe the President of the United States. So I'm like, all right, I get this. Now, regardless of political opinion, regardless of what you feel or you believe, it's very easy to cast stones and rocks at flaws. Mine is obvious, right? I have an eye problem. You can't miss it. I'll point it out to you. What am I going to do about it? Right? So it's right out front there. But weight can be an issue for people, right? It's a serious thing. So we're looking at his health report. And I thought this would be a good thing to do because I want to kind of pull the blanket off of this big mystery of healthcare, right? We're talking about, basically, we have a 71-year-old man who is 6'3". He's 239 pounds, call it 240 for easy math. His cholesterol, they're listing at 223, and his blood pressure was 122/74, which is normal. Now, the article, again, I said, NBC News reports, president is schlub, right? And then they go on to describe the rest of us. The rest of us. So we look at the rest of us and we say to ourselves, all right, well, if he's in bad shape and we can throw stones at him, right? What about the rest of us? What about this great health care we're spending all this money on? What are we getting for it, right? Guys, here's the deal. We spend more money on health care than any other nation in the world. And I'm not talking a little bit. We are double the next closest one to us. Now, you saw my report back a few weeks ago where we learned that not only are we spending more money on health care, we're dying sooner. We're not living longer anymore. That was always the big argument, right? We got this rock star healthcare and we're living longer. But we're not. 2 years in a row, our life expectancy in this nation has dropped. 2 years in a row, around the globe, the rest of the world has gone up. We're coming down, they're going up. So what does it tell you about our system? Something's wrong. Something's broken. Something has to be changed. You hear me talk about it all the time. If you're in practice, if you're listening to our radio show, if you're watching us on Wellness Wednesday on Fox, you're hearing it all the time. We're trying to create a healthcare revolution. We got to change things. And here's a great example why. You got the President of the United States, who's technically overweight. And they hammer him immediately. It wouldn't matter who the president was. They're going to hammer it either way, right? Could have been Obama, could have been Bush, could be Trump. They're going to hammer it either way. But we look at this thing and we say to ourselves, okay, so what's it mean to us? Guess what? 70% of the entire United States is overweight. 70%. Now, why is that important? Because when you go on the CDC's website and you start looking up causes of disease and causes, weight plays a major role in a lot of them. Then you jump over to the World Health Organization's website and they list the fact that 88% of us, almost 9 of every 10 deaths in this country, roughly, occur because of things that are due to chronic degenerative disease, and weight is number one. Stroke, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, all of them are on the rise. The last 2 years, we've noticed heart disease has stalled. All the gains we were making, all the wonderful things we were saying we were doing, has stalled. We're not getting anywhere with it now. Now we look at that and we think to ourselves, well, gosh, we got this great statin phase that we do, right? We're pushing all these meds out there. We have over 30 million adult Americans on statin drugs to fight heart disease. Now, I know you guys aren't uneducated, right? We're not dumb. But for some reason, I feel like we're being treated as though we are. Now, common sense would say, gosh, if I'm medicating all the high-risk people for heart disease, then shouldn't the numbers start to come down? But they don't. So what does it tell you? We're doing it wrong. I'm not against, acute care and saving lives. I get that. But when it comes to chronic care, we're a dismal failure. When your life expectancy drops, your heart disease flattens out, you don't gain anything, and 70% of your population is considered technically unhealthy, there's a problem. Guys, go buy a car. Go buy a really nice one. Really nice. Get out there, look for a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari. Get that money out there and be like, woo, I'm going to spend it. Buy that car, only to find out it doesn't work. What would you do? How many of you would buy a hamburger, and if it wasn't what you wanted, you're taking it back? That's $5. Imagine buying a $3 trillion a year healthcare system that doesn't work. It's broken. Now, acute care trauma saving lives, we got that. We're good at that. And for that 12% of the population that succumbs to those things, it's a rock star. But for the other 88% of us, it doesn't work. And we're looking at the President of the United States here, and we're saying, okay, we got 40% obesity, we have 70% overweight, we're seeing heart disease and stroke and cancer and diabetes and Alzheimer's at rampant numbers. We're medicating everybody. Drug. Blood pressure, almost half the adult population of the United States has high blood pressure, according to statistics. And we look at this and we think, oh, what are we getting for it? Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time that we look at this and we look at what the president's got going on. And guys, here's the scary part. Aside from his weight being probably 30 pounds more than what he should be, and he can call me if you need my help, buddy. Aside from his weight being over, that little bit, the rest of him was pretty good. His blood pressure was perfectly normal. His pulse rate was perfectly normal. So he, at 71 years old, isn't doing too bad. He's got a little weight issue. It's going to affect some health issues. And they're jumping all over this cholesterol thing. Oh, he's 223, 223. All you have to do is educate yourself. Go on the CDC's websites. Dig around. They're not going to put it out where it's easy to find. You're going to have to hunt. I had to. Go on Harvard's medical school websites. Look up the number of heart attacks that occur in this country that have high cholesterol. Look them up. Look up the number that have low. And what you'll be astonished to find, the way I was that almost 2/3 of all heart attacks and strokes, according to these two websites, happen in people with normal or low cholesterol. Cholesterol is not the answer, guys. It doesn't work. It never has. It was based on junk science that came out of the 40s and 50s after the Second World War. It was based on science that was already had a goal in mind, and so they just tried to prove it. They didn't do science to learn something. They said, hey, we got a product, we got something we want to do, we're going to make the science fit it. And nobody bothers to question it. Doesn't have to be that way. Okay, there's things you can do. Take back your life. Start with the basics, but understand it's work. Right? It's hard work. I tell my son this all the time, that hard work always beats talent unless talent works hard. All the time I tell him this, because that's healthcare. Same way. There are those people that are talented. They hit the genetic lottery, right? George Burns smoked and drank till he was 100. Didn't get cancer. Didn't die of lung cancer. Okay? It's a fluke. The majority of us can't do that. And all you have to do is watch all the anti-smoking campaigns, anti-chewing campaigns that are out there, and the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people whose lives have been ruined by it. We got to take back control. I believe in doing it naturally. One step at a time. Balance the body. You know stress is the cause of all disease. Men, they're the cause of all stress. There's mechanical, emotional, nutritional. Balance that, balance the body, and then see what happens with heart disease and strokes and cancers. And if we need help in the other end, if things go too far, things break too much, that's why we have a great medical system. It's there to help. It's there to support. It is not there to dictate and determine how everything goes. And you're seeing it here as an example. And it's this idea of shaming and, oh gosh, you know, come on, right? Take back your health. Get from underneath that umbrella, man. It's a different world when you do. I'm Dr. Sean. See you guys.